Everyone, we are live now.
Let's wait for 5 more minutes. Our guest is yet to come. Meanwhile, more participants can also join. And now I guess we have around 15 audience.
Yeah, guest just replied with he just joined. So, if possible, invite your friends. Mayank भैया once ना Mayank भैया रुको था so we'll just guest join.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, are we audible?
Yes. Am I?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're loud and clear.
Sir.
Sir, how are
Okay.
you?
Very good.
Thank you for joining in, sir. So students are really excited to meet you and hear from you.
All right. And I'm excited too that some IIT students have interest regarding Parliament and the Constitution.
Krishna.
So,
So as we say, so we like to keep exploring our domains.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, so Nivedita, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I, Nivedita, on the behalf of Diplomacia team, welcome you all to our very first interactive session on Parliament, the Constitution, and the process of lawmaking, with our guest, Mr. Sayan Banerjee, an advocate at Calcutta High Court, and with his excellent knowledge of Indian Constitution. Today, he will give us insights into procedure of Indian Parliament, the process of lawmaking, and how we can improve our oratory skills. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for coming to our session. And before we go ahead, I would like you to give us a small opening remark. Over to you, sir.
All right, students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right. First come first, it's a unique experience as an advocate, as a practicing advocate, and as a student of the Constitution that some IIT, some students from the best institution of our country, that IIT, the students therein have interest regarding parliamentary democracy and the Constitution. When from the very first day when you guys told to me that you people are going to organize a seminar regarding that, Tomojit was the person, I guess, if I'm not wrong. And since that day, it's a unique experience that I will share my experience, and I will share my version, and I'll share the interpretation of the Constitution and interpretation of the parliamentary democracy, that actually how things are going on right now, and what is the system, and what is the system of the parliamentary business, what is the procedure, and moreover, which is very important, that is what is the purpose, what is the purpose of the parliament, and that is very required. And unfortunately, but it's a sad reality, but since 1947 to till now, after 76th year of independence, we are in a state, or we are in a situation where public interest litigation is right now pending in the various high court or in the Supreme Court, and it's a demand that the preamble of the Constitution, the first page, the very first page of the Constitution, should be a part of the syllabus of the school and the college. I will tell you guys what is the reason behind it. But first come first, Parliament. Shall I start the court subject?
Yes, sir. You can go
Yeah,
on.
sir.
All right. The first thing first. Look, Constitution is a document, right? It's a document which contains therein that what should be the process, how law will make, how Parliament will function at the state, in the state and the central too. What should be the powers, functions of the minister, the separation of power, the separation of the three lists. I will come to that later. But first come first, which is very important, that since our childhood, those who have some sort of interest in politics, we have heard from the since of our childhood that Parliament belongs to the opposition. I guess you people are very familiar with those statements and with those words. And though the ruling party has the majority with them, they are right now in the Treasury bench, and I will use a few of the language and few of the term, the parliamentary term, and that is called the Treasury bench. Now, as a layman, we use the word the ruling party, but inside the parliament, they use the term that is a Treasury bench, the bench who have the treasury of the nation, who have this treasury of a particular state, and the opposition party. But since our childhood, we have heard about the statement that house belongs to the opposition. Why is it so? And why? And we are live in a stage. We are live in a state that we have followed the parliamentary democracy. Now, why not the presidential rule? Why the parliamentary democracy is suitable for a country like India, where there is a huge diversity, where there is a huge diversity, the class, creed, religions. There's a huge diversity, but still, when right now, when we are in a situation that yes, we can make a balance sheet of the parliament since 1947, after the first general election, 1951, 1952, right now, that we can do that balance sheet, right? So, am I audible, guys? Is there
Yes,
any
sir.
technical glitch or anything?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, all right.
Please
All right.
continue.
All right. The fact is, when Tomojit told me that we are going to organize a seminar, then I've asked Tomojit that what should be the subject, because constitution is a very vast one. The parliamentary democracy is also a vast one. Then Tomojit told me a very interesting line, that what should be in the mind of the lawmakers, what must their qualifications are, and what should be in their mind while they are in a process to making a law. But unfortunately, is a sad story right now that all the MPs of the Rajya Sabha and all the MPs of the Lok Sabha, they're not really bothered about the work which Constitution is laying down, and the Constitution is directing them to do so. Why I'm telling you guys all this story? Because parliamentary democracy is a system. The executive is in our system. The executive is responsible to the legislature. Now we have in our nation, we have a bicameral legislation. Now, what is bicameral legislation? I will not go to all the the theoretical class of the constitution, but rather I will tell what is bicameral legislation. That the bicameral legislation is a two-house legislation. Okay, one is Lok Sabha and another is Rajya Sabha. So we followed the bicameral process of making the laws. And the process of making the laws is you have to introduce a bill either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. Then the discussion will take place. The parliament, the members of the parliament, they must have that kind of knowledge regarding the subject matter. They must have kind of that much of knowledge regarding the matter. Then there will be a vote inside the house. Then the bill will pass in one house. Then we'll move to another house. That may be from Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha, or then Rajya Sabha to Lok Sabha, whatsoever, or vice versa. After that, the bill will send to the President House for his assent, and when the President gives his assent, and then only the bill will become an act. This is the basic procedure to make a law. Look, students, Parliament is an institution. Parliament is an institution the primary work of the parliamentarian or the primary work of all the MPs over there, maybe the Rajya Sabha, maybe the Lok Sabha, their primary job is to make laws, for the nation, is to make laws for the peoples of the nation. All the others relating work which we are used to go through right now in our scenario, that is not their preliminary job. The preliminary job is to make laws. But there are certain clauses is over there. Why I have told you guys at the very initial stage of this seminar that the house belongs to the opposition. The house belongs to the opposition because we are in a parliamentary democracy system. The voice of the people, the voice of the voters, the voice of the people and the voice of the voters must be represented inside the house. Though from the it may be from the treasury bench or it may be from the opposition bench. That is the primary contention. Look, we have a constitution, a very beautiful constitution we have, a very beautiful one. But the problem lies with our constitution is not the constitution itself. The problem lies with the constitution. And for that, I have to go back to a speech of Babasaheb B.R. Ambedkar. When we are at the end moment of the Constituent Assembly, then there was a speech of Babasaheb Ambedkar, and he told in the Constituent Assembly just before of 1950, 26 January, he make a statement that a good constitution can be turned bad if the parliamentarians are not good. But a bad constitution may be turned as a good constitution if there is a good parliamentarian. And this is the situation is right now, that we have a beautiful constitution. There is no doubt regarding that. We have a beautiful one. The basic structure of the constitution, or the primary intention of the constitution, the principles lying over there, all are okay. But the problem lies to the parliament. The problem lies with the MP. The problem lies with all the political parties over there. So we have a constitution. There is a feature of our constitution which is a mixed kind of constitution. I will use two words over here. One is rigid and another is flexible. What is rigid and flexible constitution? Rigid constitution is one that you cannot amend. You don't have the power to amend the constitution. You don't have any power to amend the constitution. That is the rigid one. And what is the flexible one? The flexible one is that you can amend the constitution as per your wish. Whatsoever in your mind that you can go through, and from that, what you can do, you can amend the constitution. That is called a very flexible constitution. But right now, we are in our constitution, it contains both the flexible one and the rigid one. Under Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament enjoys the power to amend the Constitution. And if we go back, I must tell you guys, there is lots and lots of videos are over there in the YouTube. There's lots and lots of books there in the store regarding the story of the Indian Parliamentary. And there is a very interesting story over there. There is a conflict between the organs of the system. We have three pillars of the three, or the three pillars of the three organs we have right now in our democracy. The first pillar is called executive. The second pillar is called the legislature. And the third pillar is called the judiciary. And from the initial stage, from 1952, we have witnessed there is a conflict between the power, that who is the supreme. There's a huge, there was a huge discussion took place inside the parliament, and there was a huge litigation was pending at that time at the Supreme Court of India. And there was a question therein that who is the supreme, whether the legislature is the supreme, or whether the judiciary is the supreme, or whether the executives are the supreme. The legislature is like the Parliament and the State Assembly. Who are the executives? Executives are the prime ministers and the presidents and all the civil servants over there. And over the judiciary, judiciary is like all the courts, the high courts, supreme courts, and all the subordinate courts. Those they're the three main pillars over there. And right now, the fourth pillar is emerging. That is the media, the journalist. And at the very initial stage, when I was in the law school, and my faculties and the professor, when they used to tell me that yes, things will be different from now, because we have a fourth pillar of democracy with us. But right now, what we are witnessing right now, that yes, that's a disturbing. I am sorry for using my word. That is a kind of a disturbing. That is a kind of an element right now in a democracy, because somehow I have observed that the role of media can be manipulated. The role of media can be manipulated through the corporate house, though that is not the contention of today's seminar, but still, when the fact which I was telling you guys, that the conflict, that who is the supreme, there's a huge conflict between the legislature and the Supreme Court. The legislature said and amended the constitution in a manner, and they have established the fact that we are supreme. You are boss, no one. You are no one. You might be the Supreme Court. You are the High Court. You have a very limited power with you. You have a very limited domain. You have a very limited jurisdiction. But actually, we are the boss. We are the boss. We, the legislature, we are the boss. We can amend the constitution in our manner. We can amend the constitution as per our wish. We can amend the constitution as per a political manifesto which we have published during the general election. But you know, there was a conflict between the two pillars at that point of time, and there is a numerous case laws are there. The Supreme Court settled down the theory, and later on, it came up with a theory that is called the basic structure theory. That yes, we accept the fact that under Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament of India have the supreme authority. They are the supreme authority, or they have the ultimate power.
I think our guest had some issues with his network.
I guess it is a network glitch.
Let's wait for a minute. Till the time, you guys can post your questions in the chat box if you have.
If you have any question from our guest.
Pramodjit, are you contacting sir?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. I feel like we have a technical glitch from the guest side. So, Tilden, why don't you guys share your own opinion regarding the lawmaking processes? I mean, everyone who is here are kind of interested in how the country make laws for us. So what do you feel regarding this? That should the lawmaking process should be more diversified, or it should just concentrate in the power of few people?
He joined.
Okay.
Uh,
Guys, ask question in chat box, please, if you have. Okay.
Okay, so we have one question from Bharat. Let's wait for our guest to come.
And
Then we'll-
Samriti also.
Pramojit, call him once.
Okay, I called already. And he talked me then. Okay, he just joined. Hello, sir. Sir, you
No,
are
sir,
in
your
mute.
mic is off.
Sir, you are in
Sorry?
mute, actually. Okay. Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. It is okay and audible. So please continue.
Okay. Sorry for the technical glitch.
Yeah.
All right. So where was I? The separation of power,
Yes, sir.
supremacy.
It's a,
Where was I?
Also, sir, we
separation
have-
of power.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
one question from the audience.
Yeah, just tell
Like
me.
they want to know what are your views on reservation policy?
What is my view regarding the reservation policy? Well, I will comment later. All
Sure,
right.
sir.
And one thing audience asks from you that what happens when there is a clash between legislature and judiciary?
Yes, that is a very damn that's the best question right now. The two question we have right now. Probably the second one is more interesting from my side. And right now we are on that part that there was a conflict between the legislature and the judiciary, and the situation was there around 1950 to 1970. There was a continuous fight between the legislature and the Supreme Court. There was a continuous fight between the lawmakers and the judiciary. All right. There was a situation we have. If you guys go through, if you guys go through all the case laws and the books and the story regarding that, all if you go through the autobiography of Indira Gandhi and the documentary regarding the Indian politics from 1950 to 1980, you will go through several cases and the several stories And we have heard from our law school, there was a story called the Kesavananda Bharti case, which is a very famous one. The neighbor state of your IIT campus. The Yes, I think you guys have heard regarding that case, that the Keshavananda Bharti versus State of Kerala. That is the famous judgment, and as of now, the highest judges were sitting to heard the matter. That was a 13 judges bench. 13 judges bench was there, and the judges were split in a manner 6:7. 7 judges with a view that yes, the parliament have the power, but with a limited power. They can amend the constitution, but they have a very they cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. You cannot amend the basic founding stone of the constitution, except that you can amend whatsoever in your mind and whatsoever in your political motivation or political manifesto which the political parties used to publish during the time of the election. And if we go through the views of the 6 judges, they are of the opinion that yes, the parliament have the absolute power to amend the constitution. The parliament can do whatsoever in their mind. If the parliament want to do that, yes, from tomorrow, India will be a Hindu Rashtra, so India will be a Hindu Rashtra. Then after 3 or 4 days, if someone amend the constitution, someone came into the power, and if it is in their mind that yes, India will be an Islamic state, then India will be an Islamic state. Then if anyone comes from the left parties, they want to amend the constitution, then India will be a secular state, or with a progressive mind, any political parties with a progressive mind. So the flexibility, if there is a should I say, if there is a 100% flexibility to amend the constitution, then there will be a disruption. Because political parties will come to power and they will go. The political parties since 1952 to right now, we are in 2030, the Congress, the Janata Party, BJP-led government, NDA, UPA, we have gone through the several governments we have witnessed. But there must be a basic structure of the constitution. And in that particular case, the Supreme Court came with a formula of basic structure, came with a principle of the basic structure, that yes, the parliament enjoy the power to amend the constitution, but the parliament cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. Now, what is the basic structure of the constitution? The basic structure is India is a secular, sovereign, democratic republic, and all the others things are over there. They are included in that basic structure. So there is a principle that is called the rule of law. And what is the rule of law? The rule of law is that the king is not above the law. That is a one-liner I can give you right now. That the ruler or the king, he is not above the law. So what is the rule of law? What is the significance of rule of law in our in today's subject? Any amendment or any laws or any amendment regarding any act or any amendment regarding the constitution that can be challenged under Article 32 and 226 in the High Court. If in the High Court under Article 226, and if there is a constitutional amendment, then that can be only challenged in the Supreme Court under Article 32 of the Constitution. And for that reason, we consider the Article 32 is the heart of our Constitution, because any kind of fundamental rights, any kind of constitutional rights or fundamental rights, if it infringed, if any kind of policy infringed your right from the state side, then you have a power. To move to the Supreme Court, and you can file a petition over there, SLP over there, the special leave petition under Article 136. That power you have. So yes, you have asked me a question here. What will be the scenario if there is a conflicting scenario between the two pillars, that is the legislature, and that is the between the legislature and the and the judiciary? The fact is, they all have their domain. The fact is, they all have their domain, they all have their jurisdiction, and they have to function within their domain and within their jurisdiction. So if there is a conflict between them, if there is a conflict between them, and if there is a scope to intervene into inside the in their intervention, if there is a scope to intervention in that problem, then there is a scope there is a scope of the Supreme Court or the High Court can entertain in that matter. So Tamojit, the question you have asked me, that what will be the scenario? The scenario is that the question was there, who is the Supreme, whether the Supreme Court is the Supreme and whether the legislature is the Supreme. We have done with it at the time of hearing the matter of Keshavananda Bharti versus State of Kerala. That is, the Constitution is the Supreme. The Parliament is not the Supreme. The Supreme Court even is not the Supreme. The Parliament, the Constitution of India is the Supreme. The President, no, not the Prime Minister of India, not the President of India, or not the Chief Justice of India. They are not the Supreme. They have the power, they have the functions, they are enjoying a huge power, but they are not the Supreme. The Supreme is the Constitution of India, and the Constitution of India directs the central legislature like Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha how they will perform, what are their jurisdiction, and they also directs the state legislature that how they will perform. That is the answer. That is the answer of your question, Tamojit. And moreover, there is 3 lists. All right. It might be in your mind that you guys mind that what will be the situation if central government make a laws regarding one subject matter, and upon the same subject matter, one state government also make a laws, then what will be the situation? For that reason, the constitution makers make 3 lists. One is called state list, another is called the central list, and last but not the least, that is called the concurrent list. The subject therein, the central list, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, they have the power to make laws upon that subject matter. The list, the subject matter under the state list, they have the power to make laws regarding all those subject matter. And under the concurrent list, both the central and the state, they have the power. They can make laws, they can make rules, they can frame laws, they can frame rules regarding all that. So for that reason, there is as of right now, there is no chance between the clash regarding one subject matter between the state and between the legislature. Now come to our main topic today, that how actually in a parliamentary business, how actually law makes, what are the procedure they are in. So the procedure is, you have to introduce a bill first. That maybe a bill maybe move from the government side, a bill maybe move from the concerned minister of the department, or a bill maybe a private bill also. All right, there is a provision regarding that. So when we place the bill in the house, you have to take a leave, the permission. The leave is a technical word in our judiciary or in the parliamentary business. That is called the leave. The leave is actually the permission. We are asking for your permission to move the bill, and then when speaker gives the permission to move that bill, there is 3 part or the 3 procedure actually. The first is called the first hearing, the second hearing, and the third sitting. There is one principle that That is called public hearing. All right, that is called public hearing. Right now, the population of our country is more than 130 crore. And I'm damn sure not more than 5 or 6 lakhs have heard about the word, the public hearing. It is beyond our imagination, that yes, the parliament have their procedure of public hearing. What is public hearing? When a bill moves in the Lok Sabha, in the Rajya Sabha, then the parliament, there is a provision for the public hearing, then the parliament can invite the people from the stakeholder to give their opinion regarding that subject matter. Say, for example, the parliament is going to frame a rule regarding the IIT. The parliament is going to frame a rule regarding the farmers. The parliament is going to frame the rules regarding the worksmen in the who are working in the factory. Then at the time of after the first sitting, I guess, after the first sitting, if I'm not wrong, they can invite the stakeholders, they can invite the people to share their opinion regarding that. That is the essence of democracy. That is the essence of democracy. That yes, the parliament, they have the power, the ruling party or the treasury bench, the members from the treasury bench, they have the power. But at the time of making the laws, at the time of the time of the debate, the parliament can invite the stakeholders of that particular subject matter or from the general public to discuss and to give opinion regarding that. So say, for example, which I have said few minutes back, that if the central government is going to place a bill regarding the IIT, then there is a procedure. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a procedure. All right. So there is a procedure under which you people also can attend that public hearing and you can share your version. You can share your opinion also there. So that is the essence of democracy. And that is the basic difference between a democratic system and between a presidential system and an autocratic system. We are living in a democratic system. A democratic system, the values of the ideas, the values of the individuals is the highest priority. The values of the laymen, they have the highest priority in a parliamentary democracy system. Yes. Students, am I audible? Is there
Yes. You are audible.
a huge technical glitch actually? Whatever. So
Audience have some questions for regarding this.
just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Sure, sir.
All right. So that is the basic difference between a presidential form of government, a parliamentary form of government, and autocratic government. We are in a democratic system. So we have heard about the 3 bills, right? The farms bills. Have you heard or not? The farmers bills and the farmer protest at the Shingu border. Have you heard? If there is yes or if there is no, just tell me.
Technical glitch.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Sure, you are audible.
All right. The fact is, we have witnessed several kinds of protest in a recent past, right? One of the protests was a farmers' protest after passing the 3 bills. Then, when the central government scrapped Article 370, that was a special provision for Jammu and Kashmir. There was a huge protest over there. Moreover, there was a protest regarding the Citizenship Amendment Bill. Later on, that is become an act, the Citizenship Amendment Act. Well, when the legislature about to make laws or about to make an act regarding regarding the farmers, the opinions of the farmers, or the experience those who have the experience of the problems which they have faced in their life, that is very much important. We have witnessed that kind of a huge outblast from the farmers' end. The reason was there was a discussion make at all at the parliament at the time of making the 3 laws. And subsequently, under the pressure, the central government have to repeal the 3 farm bills. See, there's a process. There's a process of making the opinion that says that particular bill can be sent to the select committee. The parliament, they have the power to send the bill to the select committee, to the standing committee. There are I think I don't have I have till now I have not tell about the standing committee. I have not emphasized that much on the standing committee. The standing committee is a committee. Look, when the constitution are framed, it was in their mind the democratic centralization process, the centralizing democratic. I must correct myself. The democratic process rather than a centralizing process. That spells in Bengali sounds like a Bikendrikaran process. All right, that process is very much required, and for that reason, the parliament makes several standing committee. Like we have the standing committee regarding education. We have the standing committee. It is not a ministerial committee. It is not a ministerial duty. It's a standing committee. They have their particular business. They have the particular the farmers standing committee, the agricultural standing committee. All right, the bill can be sent to the standing committee also. A bill can be sent to the select committee, and they can go through a clause by clause. A discussion maybe took place over there by clause, and thereafter that bill can be sent back to the parliament, and then after the debate can be take place. And after that, the bill will pass, and the bill will send to the president for his assent. And there is a question in our mind since when we were in the law school, that what should be the situation that a parliament passed a bill, a parliament discussed about a bill, the discussion took place, the debate took place, the bill passed. And what happened there? The bill sent to the president's house for his assent, because the assent of the president is very much important. And what happened? The president is of the opinion then he will not give his assent, and it is impossible to it is impossible that without the assent of the president, it is not possible that the bill will become an act. So what will be the situation thereof? The president can send back the bill from president's house to the parliament for the president of India can recommend few clause, he can recommend for the amendment. But if after that the bill passed in the both house and sent back to the president's house, then the president is under the obligation that yes, he have to give his assent, and after the president's assent, the bill become a law. That's all. Yes, tell me the question you have.
Sir, what is the money bill and how to declare a bill to money bill, and what is the power of speaker in both house for any parliamentary procedure?
Look, what is the beauty in our system is a speaker is a person who elect as a MP first. We don't have any post as a speaker who will directly elect from the people. There is no such post. And for that reason, I must tell you guys that there is no prime ministerial candidate word. There is no such word in our constitution. There is no such word. But the media, the corporate media is used to publish all the statements that yes, Mr. Modi is the prime ministerial candidate. Rahul Gandhi is the prime ministerial candidate. No, there is no such word called prime ministerial candidate. There is no such word called chief ministerial candidate. The basic function, the procedure is you have to elect as a lawmaker first. You have to elect as a MLA or as a MP. Then after, among from all those MPs, from the 545 is the number of the MP in the Lok Sabha. From there, the members of the parliament, they choose one of the parliamentarian, one of their colleague as a speaker. The basic function of a speaker is like a president, not the president of India. If all the students you are present here, if you conduct a meeting, a president must be there who will preside the meeting. The same goes for a speaker. The speaker will preside the Lok Sabha, the assembly. That is called the speaker. And in the case of the in the case of the Rajya Sabha, there is no speaker. There is called a chairman, and the chairman is the de facto. The president of India is the de facto member of the Rajya Sabha, and for that he is the chairman. All right. There is no election for the speaker, or there is no election for the chairman. But yes, the chairman is the person who is the president of India. The president of India is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and the speaker is select or elected. There is a process, not by you and me. The layman is not going to vote for the speaker. The layman, we don't have such kind of power to elect our president, to elect our Rajya Sabha member even, or to elect our speaker. What we can do, we can elect a member of parliamentarian, the MP, and after that there's a procedure. Money bill, there are certain few kinds of bills are there. One is called the constitutional amendment bill, the constitutional bill, ordinary bill, the money bill, and the financial bill. A money bill is a bill which contains the tax reduction or the tax increase, the financial elements, or the relevant financial I must say, the financial policies. All this contains the money bill. All right. And the Rajya Sabha don't have, the Rajya Sabha is not in a situation or not in a position as per the constitution. The Lok Sabha have the power to discuss about a money bill, and they have the power to vote, to give a vote in favor of the money bill or in against of the money bill. But the Rajya Sabha member, they don't have the power to give the vote for the money bill. They can give their vote in favor of, they can participate in a process for the constitutional amendment bill, for the ordinary bill. But in case of money bill, they don't have the power. What they can do, that they can participate in the discussion, right? When a money bill is passed by the Lok Sabha, the members of the Lok Sabha, then it proceed to the Rajya Sabha, right? Then the members then the members of the Rajya Sabha, they can participate in the debate, they can give their opinion, but they cannot vote for it. If the Rajya Sabha, there is no deadlock regarding that. If the members of the Rajya Sabha they actually they don't have any kind of power to give vote in favor or against of the money bill. They don't have power. They can participate in the debate process. Yes, next
Sir,
please.
sir, according to you, what it takes to be a parliamentarian? Like day before yesterday, we were having a parliamentary debate and we got a buzzword like what is a parliamentarian? So what do you think? What it takes to be one? Know how to be well versed with the procedures of parliament.
You just have to be a member of a political party.
As a student, we can't write.
There are few qualifications is required, but unfortunately in our state like India, in our country, we don't have any kind of educational qualifications therein. There is no educational qualifications is required to be a member of the parliament. But yes, a certain qualifications is required, like you must complete the age of 25 years for the Lok Sabha, and 32 years for the Rajya Sabha, I guess 32 or 35, 32 years. All right, for the Lok Sabha, the age bar is the 25, must be a sound mind public. He must not hold any kind of office of profit. That one is very much interesting. You cannot hold any kind of office of profit as a government of India. Like if you are in an IPS, if you are discharging your duty as an IPS or an IES officer, then you cannot be a parliamentarian. If you want to be a parliamentarian, you have to resign from the IAS or IPS cadre. Like we have heard the Arvind Kejriwal, he was in the tax department, right? He was an alumni of IIT Kharagpur. Then he gave his resignation to the concerned authority, and after that only you can participate in the voting participate in the vote for the vote. So these are the qualifications is required. Like no educational qualifications is really required. But yes, there is a debate regarding that what should be in the mind of the MP. Is the educational qualifications is all and out? Is the educational qualifications is that much important? Is the educational qualification is required, or is the practical experience is required? Like when we are discussing about a farmer's problem, when we are discussing about the problems of the students, when we are discussing about the problems of the unemployment, you must have that kind of experience, like, right? You must have the experience of a farmers. You must experience of a, what should I say, of the problems of the farmers they are going through right now. So yes, the blend, as far as my opinion is concerned, I must go with the blend experience, and the blend qualification is required. Those who must have a the practical experience and also have a theoretical experience. Both are really very required. But right now the situation is all the parliamentarians who are right now inside the Lok Sabha, the major of them, they are not really bothered about the lawmaking process. They are not really bothered about their statements. They are not really bothered about the constitutional morality and constitutional values. That is the sad reality, but that's true. Yes.
Sir, on the same note, we got another question, like how is Indian code different from non-democratic country codes?
How?
Process. How is Indian code different from non-democratic country codes?
Indian codes?
Actually, Indian judiciary system different from those judiciary system. There is no democracy in those countries. The difference between
the no rule of law is there. No rule of law is there. Like in a constitution under Article 21. All right, under Article 21, the article contains that no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. That is the article therein. All right. So you cannot punish anyone. You cannot snatch a right. You cannot snatch the liberty of the people from them without a legal procedure. That is the essence of the democracy. That is the essence of a democratic government. But yes, if the democracy will be not there, then anyone can take a life of like the rulers can take a life without any kind of procedure, without any kind of laws. So in a democratic state also, if a Supreme Court give a verdict, if the High Court give a verdict regarding any case, we have the power to criticize it. You can, if you want to criticize, if you have the point on it also. If you have the point of law, then you can criticize. You can criticize in an open manner. But in a non-democratic state, that's not possible.
Now we have some question like, Asin, you can unmute yourself and you go with your question.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, Ashin and Shubhankar Haldar.
Yes, if you have any kind of question, just tell me.
Ashwin, you can go ahead.
Ashin and Shubhankar Haldar, if you want to unmute yourself, then go ahead. And Samriddhi also. Samriddhi.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
good evening.
Sir, I have a question. What is the importance of transfer of power after elections in any nation?
Transfer of power from whom?
Power, like from one party to another party. Like in many nations such as Brazil, we are witnessing huge protests and a wide scale protest there because the power is not being transferred. Even in the US, we have seen like from Donald Trump to Joe Biden, when there was transfer of power, it was not very smooth.
There's a clash.
And what is the importance of that, like the transfer of power?
That is the democratic values, in my opinion. That is the democratic values, and you have to respect it. You have to, you must obey and bow down before the verdict of the people. When people of the voters, or when the general people give a verdict through the ballot box, then all the political parties must bow down before it. And yes, as of now, since 1952 to 2023, we have not witnessed such kind of thing in our parliament. We have till now we have not witnessed. What we are witnessing and what is more disturbing right now and disturbing for me and disturbing for any kind of democratic people, that the verdict of the people that is not reflecting in the legislature. That is not reflecting. Why I'm saying so? Because there is a trend right now in the Indian politics to purchase MLA and MPs. We have gone through that. People maybe vote. Say, for example, I will say that Tomojit have a political party, and Tomojit have a political party, and the symbol of the political power, say for example, is a mobile phone. The mobile phone is the symbol of Tomojit, of the political party of the Tomojit. Then what happened? Tomojit win the election. Then what happened? After a few days, Tomojit went from his mobile party to, say for example, a diary party. So the opinion of the people was Tomojit elect from a party that have a symbol of mobile, and now Tomojit in a party for the obvious reason of power, for the obvious reason to be in the government, for the obvious reason to be in the treasury bench. Now he changed his side, and to combat with such kind of situation, the constitution dealt with 10th schedule, the anti-defection law. The anti-defection law. There's a very funny case. If you go through the Google, there's a one MLA from Punjab or from Haryana, and the name was Amar Ram or something like Amar Ram probably, and he changed his political party 4 times in one single day. Within 24 hours, he changed his political party in 4 times. So that change, the transfer of power from one party to another party is the essence of democracy. When one political party lose the election, when he was, if he is in the power, then the prime minister or the chief minister went to the governor house or went to the president's house and give his resignation, and the president or the governor then give a notice. If you have the power to form the government, you can come to my place, and those who have the numbers inside the house, and they will form the government. So the transfer of power in a democratic process is not the main problem. The main problem is the horse trading. The main problem is the horse trading right now in Indian politics. Is there any other question? Tell me.
Yeah. We have some questions like Shubhankar, if possible, please unmute yourself. Yeah, we go through Revnath Rajneev, if possible, unmute yourself. Vishal, if possible, unmute yourself.
We have one question from the audience, like what effect do lobby groups have in the lawmaking process in India?
Yeah.
Lobby group.
Yes, sir.
What is lobby group?
I don't know, sir.
I don't know. It is from audience question.
Like what
Lobby-
kind of lobby groups are the most influential here?
Yes, there is a one kind of lobby that right now we are in a situation is a lobby of the Adani group. If that lobby you are telling me, then yes, the lobby is a very well-known term or a well-known word inside the parliament, right? What is lobby? The lobby is like Mr. A is Mr. A is a businessman, or Mr. May is as an industrialist. He give me 1 crore rupees to raise a issue in the parliament, which is actually benefited Mr. A as an industrialist. So that is a kind of lobby, but I don't think who raised the question? Is he here?
No, I guess. Vignesh,
No, no, no.
Vignesh, you.
All right.
Ashwin
Okay.
has one question, sir.
Yes.
He wants to know, like, what is the future of democracy in the era of weakening institutions and the rising authoritarianism?
Authorization.
No.
What is the future of democracy?
Democracy in the era of weakening institutions and rising authoritarianism.
Yes,
Like
that's
the
a very
institutions are
challenging.
weakening.
Yes. A very good one from the audience. Yes, right now we are in a situation. There is a huge challenge which we have to face right now, because the days of working inside the parliament, that is rapidly decreasing. From I have the data, and I was few days back. I have gathered some kind of data from 1952. Within the 5 years, 677 was the days, 135 in an average. In 1 year, the parliament was in the session. Right. The parliament was in the session for average 135 days within a year, and 577 days for 5 years. But which is very unfortunate, but that is the sad reality. In the year 2017, only 57 days in a year, the parliament was in the function. So that's a very alarming situation right now. And moreover, the discussion, the debate and the discussion, the more debate and more discussion make a good laws. Right now, we have heard many stories from our media friend that your opinion is a anti-national opinion. Your opinion is a opinion which is not good for our country. But the opinion inside the parliament, or the opinion of the general public, that is the most important thing. Why I'm telling you? Because the diversity, the diversity is the essence. The diversity is the essence of the unity. So why I'm telling you the situation is very alarming, because in the year 2020, 20 bills have passed inside the parliament without any kind of debate and discussion. without any kind of debate and discussion. And for that, the huge loopholes we have found out from all these laws, from all these laws, which has now become an act after passing the after passing in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The discussion and the debate, the more discussion and the more debate, that is the only way out to save the democracy. That is the only solution. And moreover, what is the situation right now, that the central government is trying to impose ordinance to for the power of make laws. There is a provision of ordinance. Because our time is very limited, I cannot go through in detail. So there's a process. There's a lawmaking process. Is a two-part process. Number one part is the central government. The central government or the state government may make laws through the ordinance. And for that kind of a ordinance, no kind of debate or no kind of discussion is actually required. If the government, if the President of India give his assent over the ordinance, then it will become an act. No discussion and debate is very required. But yes, there's a provision that the ordinance must come before the Lok Sabha and came before the Rajya Sabha, and there will be a discussion and debate will take place. But yes, right now the alarming situation is because the democratic values of the underlying principles of the Constitution and the basic structure of the Constitution, that is under challenge. So the opposition voice is the most essential part to survive a democracy, for the kind of a healthy democracy, for the kind of a healthy parliamentary democracy. The discuss, debate, and opinion, the diversity, these are the very essential elements to survive a democracy.
We have one childlike question from Robin. If someone wants to enter politics with the goal of becoming Prime Minister, what should be the roadmap for him or her?
To sell tea first, to open a tea stall and then say, I'm a chai wala. That is a jokes apart. It's a silly joke from my side. But yes, you have to enter into politics. Why right now I'm here, because it was in my mind since Tomojit called me that I genuinely feel that all the creams from the IIT, IIM, and all from the other institute, they must move forward and they must join politics. They must join politics not only to become a MP or MLA or the Prime Minister or the other ministers, but to serve the country. Look, you can serve the country to join a civil servant. You can serve the country to join the Indian Army also. But yes, we want the good lawmakers are really right now is very requiring in our parliamentary democracy, with a good sense, with a good value, with an educating mind, with a clear heart. That's all. But if you want to be a prime minister, then the prime minister or an MP, then you have to join politics. You have to contest in the election, and from therein you have to win.
We have
Anand has one question.
Okay. We have some question from Rohit. In future, would artificial intelligence now ChatGPT here play any role in lawmaking or any amendment or any judiciary system? In recent time, our central government talk about the digital regulation in judiciary system. So, what's his view? So, is ChatGPT artificial intelligence take over the lawmaking judiciary system?
No. The parliament is they only have the power to make laws, right? The parliament have only power. The parliament is enjoying only the sole power to make laws. No other authority can make laws except the Parliament of India or except the legislative assembly of different state. So artificial intelligence is they have the influence in the system, but they cannot make laws. That's not possible. That's not.
We
Okay,
have one
Amish.
serious question.
Amisha
Abhijit.
raised your hand. Please, Amisha, go ahead. Um,
So I had a
Amish.
question that am I audible?
Yes. Tell
Yeah.
me.
So can the judicial system change any of the rules we have in our constitution, like on its own? Like regarding the excommunication thing, 2 days back I read about it, and it was like the Supreme Court said that the excommunication of people regarding the Bohra community, it could lead to civil death of that person. So, and the constitution, I think, says something about it that it is not allowed. In reference to that, what do you think?
Yes, that is what I have said in this session. That yes, there is a process called the rule of law, right? If the parliament amend the constitution, or if the parliament amend the laws, then you can challenge it before the Supreme Court. And if Supreme Court found out that yes, that is void, that is against the constitutional morality, that is against the constitutional values, that is against the constitution, then obviously the court or the judiciary, they have the power, the Supreme Court have the power to struck down the constitutional amendment, or to struck down the particular laws. Other than that, the parliament is the only source. The parliament is the only source of law. Though as a law student, we have a numerous source of law, but as a layman, yes, the parliament right now is the only source of law. The legislature. Yes, next please.
Yes, sir. We have one question from Shiva Manal.
Yeah.
How to solve the increased pending cases of Indian courts? Since you are from legal profession, what are the challenges judiciary is facing?
We have to increase the courtrooms. We have to increase the number of judges. We have to spend more from the union budget for the judiciary. Other than that, it's not possible. It will be an illusion. Other than that, that's not possible. Moreover, 3.5 crores cases are pending in the Indian court. So the judges are limited, the times are limited, the courtrooms are limited. So for that, we have to spend more on the upon the judiciary in the union budget. But unfortunately, the last union budget, we have not seen that kind of development. Yes, anything else? Just tell me. Hello?
Anmol have some questions.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We have seen the passing a law takes a lot of time due to the bureaucracy. What is the lawyer's perspective on how to pass new laws or update the existing ones as efficiently and quickly as possible?
No. There is a no blame game. The bureaucrats are not there is no role of that kind of bureaucrats. They are not the responsible. And for that, I have quoted the data that at the beginning of our parliamentary system, the parliament used to work like 157 days in a year, and right now we are working only on 57 days. So the working days, not even like 100 days. Like if you go through all the first world countries like Canada, like Switzerland or any over there, obviously in Canada or in the Britain, they have a rule that the parliament must sit at least as 100 or 120 days in a year. But for our country, like India, we don't have that any kind of a rule that the parliament must sit in 4 sessions and they have to continue for the 120 days in a year. There is no such kind of a rules. So the lawmaking process is not that a very kind of a slow process. What is more disturbing that the process of to hard a litigation in the Indian court, that will take a huge time, and that reason is a huge burden upon one judge. There's no role of bureaucracy. The bureaucrats are not responsible for that. The bureaucrats are not they cannot take any kind of decision. They cannot take any kind of a decision regarding any bill or anything else, right? They're like a puppet of a government. what government says and government thinks, and they will have to execute like as per their end. And for that reason, the highest executive, the first executive and the highest, not elected, the elected executive is the president of India. The administrative executive is not elected. Administrative executive is the president of India. Bureaucrats are not responsible for that. All the responsibility must lies before in the parliament, all the MPs and the MLs.
Yes, Harshing, you can go ahead. Mute yourself.
Yes, anything else, students?
Harshing has raised his hand.
Yes,
Harshing, go ahead. Yeah, we have a question. If Harsh, okay, so we have a question. Article 15 of the Constitution guarantees the equal treatment of all citizens regardless of their gender, background, ethnicity, or caste. Despite this article, we have separate laws to govern separate people of different religions. Over and over again in the Constitution, there are in how men and women are treated. One example is section 24 of Hindu Marriage Act, where a man has proved disability, but woman does not in order to claim maintenance. Another example, how for people from particular caste is built into the system. How can one even claim this is fair if the intent is to help people that belong to lower classes or the downtrodden? Then should not that be the wording used? Economically provisions, because not using it causes the divide in our society.
That is called the reasonable classification. Under Article 14, everyone is equal before the laws. There is a very genuine question that if there is equality, then why only wife can claim maintenance under Hindu Marriage Act? But yes, under Special Marriage Act, both husband and wife can claim maintenance, right? So there is that the principle is called the reasonable classification. So I'll give you an example. Say for example, my height is 5 foot 10 inch, okay, and there is one wall over there, and the height of the wall is 5 feet, and my competitor, his or her height is say for example 4.8 inch. So will it be a fair competition? That is the question. A wall, the height of the wall is 5 feet, my height is 5 foot 10 inch, and the other contender, his height is 4 foot 8 inch. So for that reason, we can give certain kind of relief. We can give certain kind of relief to the special community or special class, and that you can done under the Indian Constitution. That is called the reasonable classification. You can classify that the reasonable classification is there. The reason must be there. Any kind of classification must be backed with some reason. That is the main thing. Yes, next please.
And one last question from Ashwin.
Yeah.
What are provisions for marital rape or domestic violence for men as such? Any rule wherein men are included under protection? And if not, why so?
Have you heard, students, that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
If you are
sir.
the college student, you don't have that kind of a interest, or you are not that kind of excitement regarding Valentine's Day. That's hard to digest. Whatever.
So it's actually something else. It's like there were a few days ago, there was prom night, and a lot of people are like, they couldn't get a date.
Oh.
So they are already sad and they don't want to express it.
All right. Have you heard regarding one notification that has been published by the central government that on the day of Valentine's Day, you have to hug a cow. Have you heard it? Have you heard it?
Yes, sir. It was really great. Something great in the news that people are going to actually do that.
Yes. So the person or the minister in charge in that concerned department, he thinks that on the eve of Valentine's Day, if you hug a cow, then the stress will be relieved. The dopamine will relieve. All right, the stress will be relieved from your body. So now tell me one thing: there is a deadlock, and there is a what should I say? There is a that progressive mind. The progressive mind is very much required for a lawmakers. If your mind is not progressive, that you cannot even think of that a man can be raped by a woman too. How is it possible? Or by a man too? How is it possible? So, unfortunately, but true, yes, there is no kind of a legal provision or the legal principle is there for right now. The legislature, the members of the legislatures or the government is not of the opinion that yes, there is no need. There is no need of to make laws to protect a man from the sexual harassment. But yes, the domestic violence is there. The domestic violence is there. You can file a suit regarding that. But for the marital rape or for the sexual harassment of a man, for the both end, for the both, no legal provision is there. No legal provision is there, because it is of the mind of our politicians or the right-wing parties that when you are married and when you marry a man, when you are marry a woman, then she is yours and you can do whatever you want and you can do. The consent is really not much required, which is unfortunately very sad and very disturbing also. The question of consent is there as long as when you are unmarried, and when you are married, your value of the consent or your value of the will, that is completely changed. That is not even required. So for that, an amendment is required. For that, a progressive amendment or the progressive lawmaking process of the progressive lawmakers is required.
Thank you, sir. That was our last question.
Yeah, tell me.
No, that was only our last question. No more questions.
That was your last question. Oh,
Yes, sir. So we have come to the end now. So tell us your experience. How was it like to interact with us?
That's pretty good actually. Since my just a second. All right. So that's very good and that's very interesting. I must say that all the students from the IIT, not only from the JNU, not only from the JNU, not only from the Delhi University, not only from the Jadavpura Presidency in Kolkata. I want that all the creams brains throughout the state, throughout the state who are right now in the IIM or in the IIT or in any other university, they must come forward. At least they must have the kind of a craving to know my constitution, to know my right, what is my right and what is not my right, what is my liabilities. I have tell you people regarding the fundamental rights, there is an article which contains the fundamental duties. You have right, the constitution will give you right, give you several rights, and the same constitution give you several kind of duties under Article 51A. So I was eagerly looking for that kind of a session to interact with the students of IIT and who have who have interest regarding the parliamentary democracy and they want to know regarding the constitution. So yes, it's a very good, it's a very good session, and I want to tell you one thing: just continue with this kind of a session, whether it's offline or whether it's online. You people can organize a seminar in a physical mode, in an offline mode, and at therein you can invite the people who have a sense, of the Indian parliamentary democracy, who have the sense or who have the experience of the parliamentary democratic system, or the advocates or any civil servants who have the who have the experience of the field experience. This very much of required, because life is not about you will get the IIT degree after tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and then you will get a job of 20 lakhs per annum rupees. The nation is looking for a much bigger thing other than the tax. Much more contribution is required from the youth end. So I want to all of you guys to continue with such kind of a process, to the knowledge of the Constitution, the principle, motto of the Constitution, the morality of the Constitution, the rights of the people, the rights of the people which is underlying in the Constitution, and the parliamentary democracy, of course, because you have seen, right? You have seen, like I will tell you, if you go through videos, which is very popular nowadays, the opposition party Congress, the Rahul Gandhi asked the Prime Minister regarding the Adani scam. And what is very shocking, that when the Prime Minister of India stood up and he replied upon the question, the no answers was there. No answers was there regarding Adani groups. No answer was there. But you know what? What our Constitution says, that the executive is answerable to the legislature. The executives are answerable and responsible to the legislature. It means an MP or an MLA can ask a question, ask a question to the government, and the government is bound, to give the answer. So that is very disturbing situation right now. But yes, it's a very it's almost 1.5 hours. That's a
Yes,
very
so
good experience from my end also. Just continue with this kind of a seminar and webinar and all things. Just go with it.
sir,
Thank you so much, sir. It was
sir,
really
it was a
motivating.
really interactive session, and students were really excited. They had a lot of questions, but sir, time is limited, and we could only entertain a few of questions. So it was really great having you here. Thank you very much for joining. So
Thank you. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
thank you, so.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for joining in. Have a good day, guys. Please turn off the YouTube live stream.